Did you know the mathematics we use today, number calculations, equations, and even the foundations of computers, originated from a Muslim scholar who lived more than 1200 years ago? His name was Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi. He is known as the figure who laid the foundations of algebra, a branch of mathematics that has become the backbone of modern science, engineering, and technology. Al-Khwarizmi was born in 780 CE in the region of Khwarazm, an area in Central Asia that later became the origin of his name, Al-Khwarizmi, meaning the man from Khwarazm. As Islamic civilization flourished, he later moved to a city that had become the world's leading center of knowledge at the time, Baghdad. It was there that his talent began to shine. During the reign of Caliph al-Ma'mun, al-Khwarizmi gained a prominent position among the scholars of the royal court. He was entrusted to work at the greatest scientific institution of his time, Bait al-Hikmah, or the House of Wisdom, a center for translation, research, and the development of knowledge from many civilizations. It was here that al-Khwarizmi not only studied the knowledge of the past, but also created something entirely new. He was not only a mathematician, he was also an astronomer and a geographer, contributing to the creation of world maps and the observation of the movements of the stars. Yet among all his contributions, the one thing that made his name remembered throughout history was this: he transformed the way humanity understands numbers and equations, and from this was born a field of knowledge that would one day change the world: algebra. Al-Khwarizmi was not just an ordinary scholar. He was a writer, a researcher, and a great thinker who produced dozens of scientific works across many fields: mathematics, astronomy, geography, and even music. His expertise earned him the trust of two great caliphs, al-Ma'mun and his son, al-Watiq. Both entrust him with important responsibilities, ranging from scientific research to state projects that were confidential and strategically significant. One of al-Khwarizmi's greatest contributions was introducing Indian numerals to the Islamic world and later to Europe. He wrote a book explaining this numerical system, a book that would eventually become the gateway through which modern mathematics entered Europe. The book was translated by the English scholar Adelard of Bath, and for centuries it served as a key reference for scientists, merchants, and engineers across Europe. From al-Khwarizmi's name, a new term was born in Latin, algorithmi, and from that the world came to know the word algorithm, a term that today lies at the heart of computers and artificial intelligence. Yet al-Khwarizmi's greatest legacy was not only in numbers, but in the birth of an entirely new branch of knowledge, algebra. He wrote a book titled Al-Kitab al-Mukhtasar fi Hisab al-Jabar wal-Muqabala. This book was not merely a collection of formulas, it was the first work in history to discuss the systematic solution of equations. The word algebra means to restore or to reunite, while al-Muqabala means to balance. Two simple concepts that would later become the foundation for solving mathematical equations across the world. Through this book, al-Khwarizmi established algebra as an independent discipline, separate from arithmetic. He did not stop there. Al-Khwarizmi also compiled one of the earliest trigonometric tables in the Islamic world. Within it were values for sin and tangent, figures that were essentials for navigation, astronomy, and calculating distances both on Earth and in the heavens. These tables were later translated into Latin in the 12th century and were used by European scholars for hundreds of years. During the reign of Khalid al-Ma'mun, Muslim scholars undertook an ambitious project to measure the circumference of the Earth scientifically. Al-Khwarizmi was among the scholars involved in this monumental effort, which used observations of the pole star to determine latitude and the distances between regions. Their results were even more accurate than the calculations made by the ancient Greek scientist Eratosthenes. In the field of geography, al-Khwarizmi wrote a book titled Kitab Surat al-Ard, the book of the description of the earth. It contained a world map and the coordinates of various regions. He corrected errors found in the maps of Ptolemy and produced a representation of the earth that was more accurate than any before it. With this work, geography was no longer merely a collection of travel stories. It became a science grounded in measurement and data. All of these works reveal one thing. Al-Khwarizmi did not merely inherit knowledge from earlier civilizations. He reorganized it, simplified it, and then created new systems that became the foundation of modern science. And from his hands emerged a concept that still drives the digital world today, the algorithm. Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi was not merely a scholar of his time. He was one of the figures who set the wheels of human civilization in motion, leading the world towards the level of advancement we know today. While Europe was still in a period of intellectual darkness, al-Khwarizmi's works became a guiding light for scholars there. The name Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi was highly respected across Europe. In the 20th century, two Arab scholars, Mustafa Musarrafah and Muhammad al-Mursi Ahmad, sought to revive al-Khwarizmi's intellectual legacy. They edited and republished his famous work, Al-Kitab al-Mukhtasar fi Hisab al-Jabar wal-Muqabala, based on original manuscripts preserved in the Bodleian Library, one of the oldest libraries in the world. Today, every time you use a computer, write code, or solve a mathematical equations, you are, in fact, using al-Khwarizmi's legacy. His name may not always be mentioned, but his work lives on in every algorithm, in every calculation, and in every technology we use each day. If this story inspires you, don't let it end here. Hit like and leave a comment. Share this video and subscribe for more stories about the golden age of Islam that changed the world.